I'm Noah, this is Orion, and this is Tessie, and we're trying to figure out what photo manipulation is.
Today, we're in the Park School asking people what they think photo manipulation looks like.
We're going to show them a few photos such as these of famous people to see what they think any differences are, if there are any. Let's find out what they think.
So do you see anything wrong with this photo or anything that was edited?
Because he was like,
I believe so.
On the right, he has a lot of eye makeup on and highlighter on and some freckles added that aren't his.
I just don't see like a realistic body. I mean, I can tell that she's had work done.
You want me to get specific?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's definitely touched up everywhere. Her face, definitely.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he used some apps to fix his face on this one.
Probably her butt, her stomach, her arms, definitely her nose, maybe her ankles. I know they tend to edit like everything in really tiny ways, so it's definitely manipulated.
And why do you think they do that?
So that it looks better to sell the person or a product or something.
We have moved to the business school to get a different perspective on what people think is photo manipulation.
The shoes, kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. Like there's red here, so it doesn't really look properly.
Do you see anything different with this person's features at all, like their nose shape or anything?
Yes, their nose is thinner and definitely lips are bigger. It looks like lip injections.
Also, the reflection kind of seems odd to me,
What about the reflection seems odd?
that she's kind of bent in reverse.
The face also looks thinner, like more oval shaped, whereas the one on the left, it's more like chiseled, if you will.
Her belly is a lot skinnier outside of like the reflection. Her belly is chubbier or wider.
And do you have a definition of photo manipulation?
I would guess just like Photoshop, using any sort of software or online material or tool to alter the way that a photo looks from the original.
So we heard students' ideas of what photo manipulation is based off of mainstream celebrity photos such as these. But photo manipulation is actually much more than figure adjustments to conform to conventional beauty standards.
According to the National Press Photographers Association, or NPPA, the Code of Ethics explains that photographers should resist being manipulated by staged photo opportunities, and the editing should maintain the integrity of the photographic image's content and context. The Code of Ethics also emphasizes to not manipulate images or add or alter sound in any way that can mislead viewers or misrepresent subjects.
Photo manipulation was first used for war photos, like in the photo of the Valley of the Shadow of Death taken by Roger Fenton in 1939. He had arrived to the war scene and rearranged the cannonballs on the ground so that the battlefield looked more intense than it actually was in real life.
Moving from the past and into the present, photo manipulation has expanded from war photos and into other modern platforms. We talked with different professionals in the photography field to better understand their different perspectives on the ethics behind photo manipulation.
A lot of photographers, and in today's Instagrammable world, everyone wants to be noticed. And the more sensational your photo looks, the more your photo will be noticed. In Brooklyn, where the bridge is showing in the background, if you try to go to any of these places, even at 7 a.m., they are packed full of people who show up, take some photos looking all pretty, and then leave. And they haven't experienced the area or done anything unique. That sets an expectation from clients who see, and general people who see all these things and think that's real life.
Reasons as to why people manipulate their photos past the point of the realities that are occurring in front of their camera differs from photographer to photographer.
I think it's just because of the amount of content that publications are expected to produce. Like, it's no longer like a daily print issue or a weekly magazine. It's like constant updates. So they don't have time to put people on one assignment for ages. They've got to get stuff out all the time.
While she explains that strict deadlines could be a plausible reason for others to manipulate their photos, her previous work experiences have led her down paths that have allowed her to work with companies that enforce good ethics.
I just did my first story with National Geographic, and they take every single photo that you've taken, the raw file, so that they can see if you've done anything to your edited photos. So I had to send in caption every 9,000 photos.
Without a universal guideline for how to deal with photo manipulation, professionals disagree on how to approach this issue.
If you're doing a portrait of somebody, and whether you're a photojournalist or for a fashion magazine or whatever, pitching the lights and positioning the person in a way to make them look their best is not unethical. You want people to look their best.
I think I'm kind of a purist when it comes to this, so I think that if we are telling our greatest truth, then allowing somebody to put a hat on, I wouldn't do it.
According to LA Times video journalist Robert Gurley, it is never worth it to alter the realities of the photographs we take. We have an audience because we have integrity and we report the truth. Altering the reality depicted in a photo invalidates the trust our audience places in our work. If manipulation refers to very slight color correction, then I think it is worth it to make very small edits to increase the quality of a photo. However, any manipulation beyond slight color correction is not worth it and unethical in the context of photojournalism.
The process of teaching photojournalism in high schools, especially in the yearbook, has been one of the biggest lessons teachers have used to help students understand how to create ethical visuals.
Now, for our April Fool's issue, oh man, we manipulate like crazy. But that's what I would do too. When kids would want to do things, I would just say, save it for the April Fool's issue. Completely counterintuitive. It's contrary to everything that we teach. But sometimes by doing the opposite, you can teach things by bad example as well as good.
If you're not being a purist about the tenets of journalism when it comes to seeking the closest possible version of truth that you can find, then you can go down a slippery slope there.
With a new generation of photojournalists, the guidelines become even more blurry. Some are becoming purists, as Professor Frisch mentioned, while others are calling for more creative freedoms.
I feel like it's just important for the photographer to just remember what they're manipulating and what's the purpose of it, and is it creating a false narrative of something, or is it helping to communicate the idea that they're trying to portray? And I think it's also important, like I said before, to remember that manipulation doesn't always have to be negative and doesn't always have to be through digital photography. There's so many ways you can do that in a positive way.